What has been the biggest surprise since you've started lifting weights and started the program?
I think for me, Margie, what I didn't realize weights would do for me is not just um like the physical tone that I'm seeing, because I am seeing that. And right, you expect that to happen, but other things that are happening, just kind of honestly some mental clarity that I've had. Um, my digestive system has changed to what it was before. But I don't know, like I'm someone that I do get some high anxiety. But to be honest, since I've been on this program since December, my anxiety level has dropped. Um, I'm not saying I don't have anxiety. It's not gone away, but where I maybe would get some 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 angst, I'm not feeling that as much as what I did before. So again, I think it's kind of like some mental clarity that I'm feeling. And I'm sure part of that is with the weights, right? You're getting, waking up things in your body that weren't awake before. So I'm feeling some of that the last, you know, since December. But really this January, February, um, again, starting a new year, I always have some angst going into a new year. And this year, I'm not feeling that. And I think it's because I've changed, not only the workout, but the nutrition side as well. Twofold, that whole change I've just seen some real benefits. Again, physically I have, but I had hoped to expect that, but I didn't expect some of these other, digestive, and just again, for me, some mental health pieces that I wasn't expecting to come out of the program. So it's been great.
I have to second the mental health part because it literally changed my life.
Yeah.
Changing the way I ate and the way I worked out. It probably saved me from a really bad path I was down. So no, I'm with you there. So I gotta bring up your proud moment in Pilates class with the 20-year-old. So I wanted
Yeah.
you to share that because that was such a proud
Right.
moment.
So I had a girlfriend ask me to come to hot Pilates. So it's like 90 degrees in this class. And I had not ever taken a Pilates class before, so I didn't really know what to expect. And so, there's a young girl that's next to me, and we go through the class. And I noticed during the class that she keeps taking some breaks, and I'm powering through because I'm determined that I'm not going to stop. So, we get finished with the class, and she looks over at me and she says, "Oh my gosh, do you work out a lot? Do you work out all the time?" And I said, "Well, I do work out some on my own." She goes, "Well, have you taken this class before?" And I said, "No, I've not taken this class before. My first day." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, you did so good. You did so good." She goes, "I'm like 20 years old and I had to keep stopping, but you didn't stop one time." So anyway, yeah. So I felt really good. Could I kick this 20-year-old girl's butt? She had to, she had to keep stopping, and I just powered through. But again, I don't think I could have done that if I weren't lifting weights and doing some of the things that I were doing before going to the class. Again, it was the first time I've been in the class, and it was a challenging, it was a challenging class, but I couldn't have made that through if I just went in there cold turkey without some of the other things that I've been doing. But anyway, it made me feel really good because 30 years on her. she,
That
and
that's
she was impressed.
that's super super awesome. I love that. When you told me that story, that just made me smile. And last week you said something. So let's talk about the composition changes, like the 3 inches off the waist, which is I think a secondary thing. I know a lot of people go into it because that's the main thing they want. But you mentioned something about how your body composition has changed more with the lifting versus the cardio, because I know you were a cardio bunny.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've done, 9 round, Orange Theory. I've done those programs, and honestly, Margie, I've not seen the change, physically that I have in the lifting that I've been doing with your program. Yeah, so my stomach, I have seen, right, that reduction in my stomach, and I'm not one to jump on the scales, so I don't look at the scales as my determination on, the progress I'm making. I really look at the mirror, number one. So I do see like more definition in my arms, and I'm kind of excited about the summer to see what other people say, because I think it's going to, my whole band banking on the summer, summer pool time, but I do see definition in my arms, my waist, I can tell a big difference. My booty, honestly is firmer. And I didn't have a big flabby booty, but I feel like it's kind of getting more rounded.
Mhm.
So I am seeing that change, but I'll be honest, here's the kicker for me. So I put on, and I bought into the whole Spanx thing. So I bought these Spanx jeans, and I bought them probably a month ago. And I just got them because they were kind of stretchy, and I put them on, and I thought, oh, these are really tight. And Ellie's like, you want them to fit kind of tight. Because that's what Spanx is, right?
Mhm.
But I put them on last week, and they were not like, before I was like really, really pulling them up. Like I would have to kind of, do the couple jumps. Last week I pulled those things on, and I didn't jump one time. So I hear my Spanx are not fitting as tight as when I first bought them. So it's how my clothes fit, and what I see in the mirror, even though I haven't seen movement, honestly, a whole lot on the scale. I equate that to, I'm probably building some muscle. That muscle is going to weigh a little bit more, and I can see that definition in my arms, in
Mhm.
my stomach, in my booty. But where I really see that difference is how my clothes fit, and my clothes are fitting much better than when they were.
And that, I always like to ask people, like, if you felt good, without even knowing what your weight was, does the number on the scale actually even matter if
Right.
you want to be?
Yeah.
And the answer is no. I remember I used to say, I'll look and feel great at 128. And actually that number's the number I like to ride in is more like around 132, 135 and near. And yeah, it's amazing. I totally 128. I'm gonna have to go there for my prep, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's not where I like to ride.
Yeah.
So we talked about some of the really great things, but let's talk about some of the struggles along the way. I know protein is it's universal. It's universal.
Yeah.
So what have been some of the things you've kind of encountered that you've had to work around?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it is really kind of the nutrition side of the house, because I'm not a big meat eater. So, last week when we spoke, and you're like, Angela, the chicken that you had is like only 50 grams, 50 grams. You're gonna have to eat more chicken. I was like, oh my gosh, it just seems counterproductive again, mentally in my head, it's like I'm eating more foods, but right, it's the foods that you're eating, that are important. And that's where I think that, as someone that's, done the fasting, intermittent fasting, all these different diet things, you have to mentally, change your mentality about food. And that's one that's been hard for me. Is Food's always been a struggle for me. And um so that's when I have to, that's the one thing that's probably been a barrier for me. I mean, I think the other thing is, just on the weight side, is being willing to, push myself and increase my weight. when I thought that I'm like, I really cannot press that much. I really challenged myself to put on a few more, a few more weights and can do it. And it's not easy. And by the last one, I may be yelling something. Um, and really, but again, at the end of that, I'm like, I feel accomplished. I feel like I did something and I challenged myself to push a bit harder. And even the BAMs, right? It's, um, some days I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get that apple in today, but I know what I have to accomplish. And I think that again too has helped me to stay on a path when I know got these three things I gotta get accomplished today. And so, I just get it done every day. So that's just been some of the challenges that I've had through the program, but it's been good.
It is good. And your challenges are very typical. Yeah, everybody, all coaches, they love to say all the good stuff, but there's also obstacles along the way. So it's always good to hear those. So let me ask you about the BAMs. Are you kind of surprised at how they've helped you build momentum? Because the biggest pushback I always get is that it's not enough.
And then it's interesting that you say that because it doesn't, I was a walker beforehand. I walked and that's what I did. But one of my BAMs is to walk 15 minutes and I would walk that minimum, but honestly, I probably wouldn't walk it every day. Water, you got to drink the water, but I never really set a target on how much water I'm going to drink a day. And even just the simple thing of an apple, right? I like apples, but I wouldn't eat an apple every day. So I think that consistency over time, I've seen again a big difference in my digestive system, and I think it's helped my skin complexion with I'm staying more hydrated than what I did. So even especially like during the winter time, my skin would get really dry because I would just be dehydrated. So those are some things, again, I wasn't thinking going into this program about, a BAM and what the impact could be outside of weight loss or muscle gain. There's all these other factors that are happening that I didn't anticipate, but it's all been very positive.
Oh, that is so beautiful. I just love you. So
it's the truth. It just, again, having that accountability, like, and to setting a target every day to drink the water, in your head, that's what you need to do, but I don't know, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it before, but now I'm like, okay, these three things I got to get done every day. And it's on my list of to do, and I'm a to-do list person. So I got to check it off every day. That's just my accountability to myself. And then, I know that I'm going to have to talk to Margie during the week, and she's going to ask me what, how I'm coming along. And, I'm not one to come and say, I didn't do something. So it's been beneficial to have that accountability piece for me.
It has saved me on many occasions. So I wanted to thank you so much for doing this. You are, a lot of people don't want to get on camera and speak about their experience. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I know. It's been a great experience, and I've seen such, positive momentum. And I'm not saying it's perfect every time. I fall off the wagon and I may have, a bad day. And I won't say a bad day. I may eat some pizza like I did yesterday. I ate pizza yesterday. We started spring break and I'm like, I'm going to have 2 pieces of pizza. And that's what I did. But then I moved on and I'm back on track. Even I still did my workout yesterday, but I had 2 pieces of pizza on the back end of it.
You just said something that throws so many people through a loop. You ate the pizza, but you just got back on track. And that is so huge, and that's a big determinator with your success. And I'm gonna take this